Hello, Watch City. Uh-huh. Which one? Yeah, it sold out in 10, 15 minutes this morning. All right. Yep, back again in October 31st. All right? You're welcome. When it says sold out on the website, we're not lying. Rugaroo is based on a cryptid, a creature, a legendary creature in Louisiana. It's a werewolf type creature that roams through the sugarcane fields and rips people's lungs out. I always had a fascination with that type of stuff, and I decided we'd name it Rugaroo. And what have we done? We've created a monster. Watch City. Doing all right. What can I do for you? It is gone, sir. 12. It was on for about 10 minutes or so. Sold every last bit. We'll have it again in October. All right. You're welcome. I'm really not looking forward to, I think that would be, what is it, 2025? So October of 2026 when we put the last batch of this stuff out. I think the phone's ringing now. I had asked Jim, the man with the spooky accurate palette, if he wanted to do a collaboration with us.
I had this idea in my head then, and so I sent him a recipe, and I was thinking about vapors that I'd like to smoke, like the Sutliff Elizabethan match, which was based on the Murray's version, which I used to smoke. And the Sutliff match was about 80 to 90% close. It wasn't as floral or as spicy. A little less lemon Virginia, but it was certainly in the ballpark. So I thought about that. But the Dunhill Elizabethan, the original, not the Murray's, not the current, was very spicy, very floral, and it wasn't for the faint of heart. So I wanted to do something that wasn't quite in that direction, but more of a version that I want to smoke, that I thought people would want to smoke, that was had strength to it, that had some character to it, and that wasn't going to knock you on your bottom. So, like Elizabethan could. I couldn't smoke it in a big bowl, and I loved the stuff.
The idea was the result of he and I just getting together and deciding that we needed a strong Perique mixture on the market. Because there are too many blends out there that they're afraid to use a lot of Perique because it is hard to blend it when it's in great proportion, or it's just too expensive.
So, Ernie, liked to tinker. So he liked it. He says, hey, let me tinker with it a little bit. So he did.
I played with it for a while. At first, I sent him down exactly what he sent me in proportions. And he came back with a few suggestions, and I did what he had asked, and then I made another version.
I didn't like it as much, but it was good. Ernie knows what he's doing. Then I made a suggestion. Neither one of us liked it.
We just went back and forth until it kind of got to the point where we both liked it.
I think we went through 4 versions, and then we said we'll do the original version. That was what we liked the best anyway.
We worked on Rugaroo for, if I recall correctly, about 3-4 months before we got it.
And that's basically what it is. It's my formula, but Ernie did a tweak to it, which I think was his tweak was a really good one.
In the end, it came out to be a great tobacco, but it's very time-consuming and very labor-intensive to make. Starts off with Simply Red, which we've already made. There are certain processes that have to be done to the Virginia to smooth it out. And the base mixture for Rugaroo is also cased in its own way. And that's all right in here. And every batch of Perique has a little bit of the original batch in it. Just because it's a fun, romantic thing to do. I just throw a handful in the first batch of the original batch of Rugaroo. We have about a bag left. Has absolutely no effect on the tobacco at all. It just makes me feel good about myself. Right now, I'm making, or I should say, I'm exercising the Perique. The Perique, today's Perique comes in very, very strong, very peppery, very harsh, very dry. So it needs to be brought into case and it needs to be tamed somehow. We do that with a combination of casings and heat. This is what Perique looks like before, and I'll grab some of the stuff that we've already finished, and you can see it's almost night and day as far as aroma, strength. It's very soft. It's a lot softer. It still has the same amount of nicotine, but it's definitely different. And then it has got to be rolled in a mixer. The stuff. We call it the Exorcist. And then we're just gonna cook the devil out of it. Perique is an extremely alkaline tobacco by itself and contributes to a lot of tongue bite. And that's why it's often used in very small amounts in Virginia's. The Virginia's pH, which is basic, it sort of balances the whole thing out. But in a blend like Rugaroo, where you're using a lot of Perique, I mean more than any other traditional vapor would contain, you really got to bring that harshness down on its own in Perique. It's amazing what just a little work on tobacco, just a small amount of work that does to just completely transform it. The Perique needs to be cut. There are two types of Perique on the market. There's granulated Perique, which is very, very powdery, and it doesn't really burn as well as the long cut Perique, but the long cut Perique will not blend into well with other tobaccos. It's very long, hairy strands. It really needs to be cut before it's blended, which I've already done to another batch. And cutting it just involves pushing it inch by inch through an old an old-fashioned tobacco slicer, plug slicer. We're not high-tech here. We definitely see stainless pans in our future. Once we've packed it into the trays and gotten into the oven, we're going to hold that oven at a certain temperature for a certain amount of hours. Then we're going to raise that temperature for a certain amount of hours to get the result we're looking for, which is the dark stuff, the nice, fruity, dark, mellow stuff. And then it has all got to be assembled, rolled in a mixer, and we do it in 15-pound batches. Okay, got everything ready to go here. And there we go. Now I gotta clean this mess up. That stuff that fell on the floor is the stuff I give to people who call me during the middle of the Rugaroo release. Do you have any extra? Absolutely. Several times over the last 6 or 7 years, I have considered scrapping Rugaroo completely. There are times where I get tired of sourcing decent red Virginia, having to wonder what every batch is going to be like of red Virginia, having to deal with what I know is going to be a lot of people who are very upset that they couldn't get their hands on it, and other just such nonsense. We have actually considered just dropping it. Well, STG did that for us. I cannot make Rugaroo without Stove Virginia from Sutliff. We will try to make another blend like it when our stash of tobacco is gone. I mean, we've got enough ingredients to make 2 more years of this stuff. Actually, three more releases.
3 more releases, one after this, that's it.
And no, three. So we've got one in October, and then
the
next year, April Fool's Day in October, and then we'll reblend it, but it's going to be a different blend. It won't be called Rugaroo. We'll have a strong Perique blend. We release Rugaroo on Halloween and on April Fool's Day, April 1st. In my mind, the spooky days, the unlucky days of the year. And we figured we might as well just push all our bad luck into those 2 days and deal with all the chaos on the days that should be chaotic. And we are out of stock. Time of death, 12:11 p.m., April 1st, 2025. Happy April Fool's Day. You know, it is coming out again 3 more times, and hopefully there will be the people who didn't get any will get some, but that's why we keep it at a pound apiece. Couple going to Japan, Sweden. Oh, wow, this is a new one. We got France. No, France we've done before. Finland.
Yep.
We got quite a few in Finland. Of course, Canada. Hi, Dave H. How you doing? People are still ordering. They're ordering other stuff. I think the most popular one today looks like, aside of Rugaroo, looks like Old Dominion. All right, I'm going to start printing.
Ten, 2.
I'm very optimistic. I mean, you know, when I heard that Sutliff was going away, I did the same thing I did when I heard that House of Windsor had shut down basically overnight. The same thing with McClelland, and the same thing when most of Lane's blending tobacco, as well as Stokkebye's blending tobacco, was discontinued. Well, we're going to have to change things. I don't have any blends that are 100 years old, and I don't have any problem with changing our menu to accommodate what is available. And all you have to do is really look, and there's plenty of stuff out there. Watch City. Yep, it's sold out.